Hello ladies and welcome back to my channel. I'm Urania and on this channel we focus on femininity and on self-development. In today's video we're going to look at ways that you can stay classy during an argument. When it comes to arguments, most people try to avoid them, and that's natural. But in some cases you can't avoid it. So how do you stay graceful during an argument? And also very important, how do you get your point across most effectively? Without further ado ladies, let's get started with today's video. Before we start with the tips, I would like to start this video off with something very important. And this is something that you need to master when you are having an argument, but it's also very important for other areas in your life. And that very important thing that I'm talking about is emotional intelligence, EI. And EI stands for the ability to identify and to manage your own emotions and the emotions of other people. A low EI generally leads to an inability to stay calm under pressure, and that can lead to more conflict. Where a high EI stands for an ability to stay calm under pressure, and that can lead to less conflicts. When it comes to arguments, it is very important to be able to control your emotions. And I will make sure to make a separate video about this topic, but I really wanted to mention this before we even start with today's list. Let's start with the list. So how can you stay classy during an argument and get your point across? Number 1, listen first without interrupting. When people are having an argument, both parties want to be heard first, and that's normal. You have to realize that the person you are having an argument with, in most cases, is not in the right mind frame immediately to listen to you, because they are so focused on getting their point across. So what do? Well, you let them talk and you listen. Let the other person say what they have to say without any interruption. When it comes to listening, make sure that you are listening with the intention to understand where the other person is coming from. And you are not just listening because you're waiting your turn. Be an active listener. Besides being an active listener, there is also another thing that you should be very aware of. And that thing is your body language. Make sure that you are having an open body language. You are not folding your arms like this, and you're not frowning your face. But be an active listener by nodding, and from time to time give verbal cues to show the other person that you're listening. The things that you can say are, continue, tell me more, or you can say, I see. For a bonus point, you could also mimic the other person's body language. How are they sitting or standing? How are they tilting their head? And what are they doing with their hands or with their arms? You want to mimic someone else's body language because subconsciously it is building empathy, and the other person will be more open to listen to you. Just make sure to not do it too obvious. Number 2, repeat their key points. By repeating their key points, you are confirming that you have been listening. And you are making sure that you understand what they have been trying to say. You might not agree with it, but you understand it. An easy way for you to say this yourself is as follows. You can say, if I understand you correctly, and you insert what the person was just trying to say, and you end that by asking the question, is that correct? Step number 3. It's time to get your point across. What you could say is that, I get your view, and now I would like to share with you my point of view. I believe we should then you insert your thesis for the following 3 reasons. Reason number 1, reason number 2, and reason number 3, or as many reasons that you have. I would like to share with you how you can do it yourself by giving you an example. And for this section of the video, I'm going to use my imaginary coworker Peter. Yes, ladies, Peter is back. Before I'm going to show you the example, I would like to give you some more background information. So in the following example, me and Peter are having an argument, and it's about the marketing budget. Peter really wants to invest the biggest part of the marketing budget into the traditional way of marketing, and I think we should invest it into social media marketing. So let's get started. Peter, I get your view. And now I would like to share with you my point of view. The reason that I think we should invest our marketing budget more in social media is for the following 3 reasons. Reason number 1 is that we have seen a shift in our target audience. Most of them are on social media. The second reason is that our direct competitors are very active on social media. You can see an increase in their social media following. It also seems that they are really making an impact. And if it can work for them, it can also work for us. The third reason is that our sales have been dropping for the past 3 quarters. And it's really time for us to make a big change. And I think that this will help us. When you are at this part of the argument, something that is very important is to speak slowly and to control your emotions. And that is exactly what we talked about at the beginning of the video. Emotional intelligence, the ability to identify and to manage your emotions. Because when you are in control of your emotions, you appear more confident. Up next, I would like to share with you some things that you should not be doing when you are having an argument. Number 1, bringing up the past. If it's something that you've already worked through, then there is no reason to bring it back up in every argument you have. The second thing that you should not be doing is to yell or to raise your voice. When it comes to screaming, if the other person is screaming and you are staying calm and collected, you are in control of the situation. Because if the other person sees that you are not going to scream and you're staying calm, they will calm down and come to your level. There is no reason for you to scream as well, because what you're doing is just putting oil on the fire. Better to stay calm. Number 3, don't generalize. So don't say things as, you always do this, or you always do that. If you say that, the other person might feel frustrated by that. Because yes, perhaps they did it once or twice, but they didn't do it all the time. So it's better to stay away from generalizing. Number 4, no cursing. It's not elegant to use curse words, and it's also disrespectful to the other person. Don't use but, it's better to use and. By using the word but, you are actually dismissing the first part of the sentence. The last one on the list is to not use you statements. Instead, use I statements. Let's look at an example. An example of a you statement is as follows. You never help me out. You always expect me to clean up everything. And now we're going to translate that into an I statement. When you don't help me out around the house, I feel overwhelmed and I feel unappreciated. And now I would like to hear from you. Which of these tips are you going to use? Let me know in the comment section below. That was it for today's video. I hope you find it interesting and that you can use this information on your journey of self-development. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye!